Hello, 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 everybody!
Hi!
You get
Jesus, I almost died for a sec. Give me a moment, I'll pause it when I'm safe. But I'm still here, so it's okay.
But yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to
Can these put fucking ladders down, Jesus?
another episode of the Crust, Flopcast, where we do occasionally talk about video games.
Currently I'm playing one and it's not giving me a fucking ladder in Stardew Valley. Give me a ladder to get away from the slime! Please. Oh, get the fucking mine in you! Cunt! I've got a podcast to do and I don't want to pause right next to a slime, I'm sorry.
Jesus Christ.
Pizza, eat pizza, because I'm running out of fucking energy. Oh my gosh. Right. Okay, that should be enough to keep going. Let's go. Ladder! Yes! Motherfucker! There we go. Sorry about that, guys. Woo!
But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 58 of the Crust Flopcast. I am your host, as always, the man of pizzas, the dragon of deception, and generally a being of chaos and all out. I am the one and only Chaos of Dragons, joined, as always, by my lovely co-host, or rather my cute co-host.
Oh, fuck off.
Ladies and gentlemen, you know her for many things, including a rather disturbing appreciation of Astarion. It's the one...
What do you mind?
It's the one, it's the only, it's the controversial cat maid, it's Damo!
Hi! I am the controversial cat maid, that is not a point, though, is it?
Hey, I have to do over-the-top intros when it comes to you guys.
Hey, you got a point, I'm also funky, but...
It's a flair for the dramatic.
I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway, continue it on.
But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, with the heat now starting to rise up around, because it's about to hit that summertime, so we're going to be seeing all sorts of shit coming out, whether it's bullshit coming from companies, or it's actually half-decent games actually finally starting to emerge from the sweat that is this heat.
Sweat.
Why'd you say it like that?
I don't know. I don't know. Damo just doing Damo things.
Yeah, no shit, Sherlock. Oh, lordy lord. But yeah, there's actually been, well, I'm actually going to say, there's been a few bits of good news actually spread around. There's obviously the usual bullshit going on.
Naturally.
But not obviously the extent that we've been reporting on for the past few months, so we actually get a break. We actually get a bit of a break from the bullshit. Well, the extensive corporate bullshit, at least.
Yes, yeah.
So, no rants from me for a while.
Hey!
Oh, fuck off. Don't get me started, or I'll find something to rant about.
Shit!
But yeah, ladies and gentlemen,
Say.
as always, you know what's coming. Damo, what the fuck you been playing the past couple of weeks?
I've been playing Baldur's Gate, Stardew Valley. Tried to get back into Sims, and now it bugs out my Discord whenever I'm in a call. So I don't know what the fuck's going on with that. Because initially it was just Dead by Daylight that did that. No, it's now Sims as well. So that's great.
Your Discord is now speaking less Simlish than you do.
They're speaking more Simlish than I do, yeah.
No, because if it was speaking Simlish, it would actually work because you'd be able to talk back to it.
Oh yeah, you got a point on that one. Tomb Raider Legend, because that is currently on the PlayStation catalog, I think, if I remember correctly. But it's not the updated version, like the remaster that we had. back in the day in our PS3s and Xbox 360s and nay. It is the PS2 version.
Yeah, that's what people
Kind
want.
of sad.
Yeah, the thing is like... Thing is, it makes sense, though, to actually kind of like... Well, you have to remember, though, this will also probably be like that of an emulator, so...
That is true, very true. I'm not knocking it. It's just, I do heavily remember the PS2 version having a lot more bugs than, you know...
Yeah.
Remaster.
Hey, it's what makes the PS2, PS1 era of video gaming so good.
Yeah, you got a point on that front. But yeah, no, I've been playing that as well. I think that's about it. No, I've seen Sons of the Forest as well a couple of weeks back. With Blue and with Tara and Blue.
Yeah.
So that's been fun. And all that good stuff. I'm trying to remember if there's actually been anything else I've played. I don't think... Oh, Dragon Age Inquisition. I've been on and off on that. And then I found out through a Facebook meme, which I proceeded to screenshot what I put on the top of it, caption it, that I posted on my personal Facebook. And no, you will not get my personal Facebook, guys. I'm sorry. It's just not happening. I'm just as unhinged on the internet there as I am here. I have friends and family on there that, you know, are kind of used to my shit at this point. So, oh yeah, I forgot about the images you sent me last night. Let me just scroll up. There we go. So,
I was sending Damo some very risque images from.
Yes, I had such gay panic.
Was it panic or satisfaction?
A little bit of both. How about that?
And getting pulled by panic, pulling you both sides.
Yes, I found the meme. Well, it's not so much a meme. It's what Solar says. Now, I'm gonna give a quick spoiler warning for those who have not played it, despite the fact that it is a very old game at this point. This is your 5-second warning. 1,
2, 3, 4, 5. Get fucked now.
Love that.
You're
and the caption, the actual thing that Solar says is an enemy can attack, but only an ally can betray you. Betrayal is always worse. I don't think I've gotten that. No, I have. I got past that. Don't worry, my bad. And I proceeded to caption it while sharing it on Facebook, saying, "No, I'm romancing him. No." And then I proceeded to put underneath these said screenshots to Chaos saying, "Bro, I'm romancing Solus in this run. No. So much betrayal IRL that admittedly still healing from, because because we're not going to name drop people."
Didn't I also tell you that you were fine to romance him as well?
Yes, you did.
To be honest,
I do not...
to be honest, I'll say this, I forgot that's what happens with him, so...
I even asked you as well.
I said, it's been ages since I played. Did I not?
You did. But I mean, like, at the time, because you were like, "Hey, Damo, Dragon Age Inquisition, like, the new game." But I'm like, why are people saying he's evil?
Have you even watched the trailer?
I'm pretty sure,
for the
like,
new
there's
game?
a couple of people in... I actually have now, yeah. I was like, oh my god, it's so good. Yeah. And I know there were a few people in the VC with us at the time, and I swear to hell, like, someone chuckled, and I was like, wait, what's that supposed to mean? I was like, no, it's fine. So I was like, okay. So I completely missed that memo of what Solus said.
Top 10 anime betrayals.
Yeah. And I also proceeded to put, "I do not need it in a game, for fuck's sake." I was like, oops. I was like, I am dumb AF. And he proceeds to send a gift saying top 10 anime betrayals.
Yep.
So...
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know how to feel about that. Because now I can't just go back on it because I'm mid-romancing.
You have very bad taste in men.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
There's not really much you can say, really, like, considering, like...
I'm gonna be talking about this to my therapist, actually. right, I'm starting to notice a pattern in my taste in people.
Oh.
Because I am, you know, just to put it out, I am pansexual. Like, I don't care what's in between your legs. It's not my business at the end of the day. Like, you know.
So it's all up in your business.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Tell me I'm wrong.
But I'm literally just gonna turn around and say to a therapist, like, predominantly, I've now noticed a pattern of my taste in people, and now in video gaming. And she's gonna ask why, and now I'm gonna have to tell her and explain to her the entire ordeal, how I found out.
Yep.
Accidentally, might I add. I was just scrolling through Facebook when I found this.
To be fair, just to FYI, there are, I think, different ways that character romances can end in that game. So it might not entirely be a full betrayal. That might just be one of the routes.
Okay. I hope so, because I actually genuinely really like Solus just because of the knowledge that he has on a lot of things, and like how he's willing to learn and educate himself, and you know, pass on knowledge and stuff like that. Yeah. So I'm just like, he's cute, intelligent. We've got Blank to thank for that. For those who know, do not say the name out of, I guess, respect for me.
Randolph?
In a way. Yeah, totally. Let's
Timmy.
Call him Randolph. Yeah, let's call him Randolph.
Jacob. Jesse. James. Meowth. Team Rocket's blasting.
Pokemon.
Team Rocket's blasting off again.
Fuck's sake. Oh my goodness. But anyway, honestly, like, I'm gonna have to explain the entire ordeal behind this, and there's gonna be a lot of uncomfortable questions I'm gonna have to deal with. So
as opposed to the uncomfortable questions you've been dealing with over the past, like, what, month and a half?
Yeah, but this is gonna hit different. Because it's a self-discovery I kind of like realise after everyone's been basically shouting it.
So like, hey, Demo. Demo.
Yeah.
Told you so.
Fuck off.
She hates it when I do that. Demo hates it when I do that because 9 times out of 10 it's literally what I've said is gonna happen.
Yeah, you know, man. But anyway, yeah, so then there's that, and I'm gonna have to, I guess, look forward to that betrayal. Because I'm at the bit where they're now in the broken castle.
Oh, yeah, that bit.
Yeah, like the next stage in the story after Haven.
Yeah. Well, look forward to actually playing the DLC.
I honestly can't wait because I've got a complete collection for it, like, sort of thing. So it's one of them where I'm like, oh.
I believe they take part either. I believe some of the DLC either takes part during the main story or it takes place after. I can't quite remember.
I think it's a bit of both because I know Assassin's Creed did that at one point, or at least attempted to, and it just got really confusing.
And I know one of them takes place afterwards, and it basically, the way it goes, essentially starts to set up for the next game.
Yeah.
That's to my knowledge, at least.
I'll say this, though. I did not realise I was just doing, like, side quest upon side quest, though, when I first started playing the game. And then I realised, oh shit, I actually have to go to this place.
Yep.
And it took me, what, 3 days of playing it in a row to understand that? Yeah. But I am a elf mage. You know, sort of thing.
It took you a bit to also work out, like, Chaos, how do I change the gender?
To be fair, though, it was not made clear. I will say that. And I know a lot of people are going to sit there and be like, well, yeah, but you've got the female, male characters, like, you know, pictures in the form of the cards, like, when you first start. Okay, cool, but as someone who is very, very much brand new to playing Dragon Age, still don't understand, because the game is on my EA account. Now, prior to it being free, at the time on Epic, it's never been in my library on my EA account. So I still don't know how I've got had 11 hours playtime in it because I checked on console. I don't own it on console. I even checked it on my Xbox app as well. Wasn't there. So I'm just really confused how the game's just like, oh, you've already played this amount of time of this game back in 2021.
Who the fuck knows?
I don't know. I'm done questioning it at this point. But thanks for the free achievements, I suppose. Yay!
almost like you got a load of free achievements when you jumped in Inventor's World on Planet Crafter.
I know, right? Like, oh my goodness.
I'm only missing a few now.
I think we also did that last week as well, if not the week before. Actually with Planet Crafter with both Ivy and Inventor, and it was good aside from some IRL
trouble
situations, shall we say?
Yeah, which are now resolved.
Yeah. So then there's that really, but other than that, I don't think I've actually been playing that much of like a massive variety recently, just because Stardew's kind of taken over a little bit too much. Yeah,
we could tell as we got started.
yes. I have the game paused. I do have it paused, so it's fine. But other than that, you know, that's my shit done and said. Really, what about you, Chaos?
Well, any game that I've been playing, like everyone pretty much has seen what I've been playing because I've done it on stream. It's been basically kind of a mixture actually. I've been doing some Pokemon Unite, and I now have Cerule Edge, which I just released.
Okay.
Doing some Dead Island 2. Managed to beat the Clown Zombie on that one, first try, no probs. I played Dead by Daylight and got up against the new killer. Oh boy.
Yeah, how was that?
Oh, he's certainly something, and if you find the chests if you find his specific chests, you have a chance of either getting his hand or his eyes. His hand lets you run into a locker, and it teleports you to a completely different locker.
Okay.
Yeah, it's actually quite handy for getting away. And the eyes let you see, I can't remember what it does specifically. But lets you see, I think what he's doing is like move across. I think.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, and he's also got 2 different Moris depending on stuff that's happened as well. So, they were actually fun to watch. The map's really good. I like it. And there's actually like, because you know, obviously on the that alien like fungus map where you see like the plants and shit moving.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's actually a couple of critters actually. There's a couple of critters locked in the dungeons, and when you go right up to it, one of them will go charging right at the bars.
Okay. I see.
Yeah, they've added quite a few little neat features, and I'm like, I like this. Been also hitting Trails of Cold Steel 3. I'm back on that again. So yay! Hopefully I'll actually get that series completed soon. Street Fighter 6. Obviously been hitting that one. Did a bit of ranked, and as many of you probably have seen, the various issues I had when I streamed it the other day, and then the madness that was ranked, as well as a couple of good back and forth mirror matches against a couple of other Kami players. So, Star Rail, obviously trying to finish up the story, and because I believe the update for it comes out this week. So, I will be continuing on with that this week. And obviously I've been playing a new game that I bought the other day, Monster Hunter Stories, which was originally a mobile and a 3DS game.
Yeah, you were actually playing that this morning, if I remember correctly, as well.
Yep, I actually am thoroughly enjoying it. It's definitely. I looked at footage of the original 3DS version. Oh boy, it's definitely been given a graphic improvement.
Very nice.
Also, is what they've added a couple of things as well. Voice acting for one,
Okay.
which didn't have originally apparently. Can't remember what one of the other things that I heard they'd added, but it's actually really, really good. It's actually just like something fun. It's like, and apparently you can go up against other riders, other people, in the game. And I know in the second one you can actually go and play and actually do quests with other people to get some very rare monsters. I believe early on, if you're once you unlock the multiplayer, you actually get the ability to essentially get yourself a giant T-Rex.
I mean, all in all, though, that does make a lot of sensible things considered if you think about it. Just because I know I've played one of the Monster Hunter games back on the PS4 days, actually. Yeah. And we were able to get some, like, rare shit from the get-go as soon as multiplayer was actually activated.
This game, the Monster Hunter story games are essentially, as was described, more child-friendly stuff.
Yeah.
Because obviously instead of killing them, you're basically... Actually, if anything, I'd say you're doing something actually even more crueler. You're going into their nests and stealing an egg, hatching the egg and getting it to work with you.
Yeah.
I can easily make a very, very, very dark joke, but I'm not going to.
But it's like your child, all things holy, please do not.
They almost made it for me.
Bruh.
I've also been jumping back on Pokemon Bushido. Damo and I are actually doing that separately, so we actually have an idea. So when we do pick up our Soul Link back up,
yes. Which unfortunately, because I did also initially download it to see if it still had the original save file, and unfortunately it does not.
No.
So we will be starting fresh.
Yeah. But again, as I said, like we're just literally ploughing through it, so we have an idea of what we are going up against for the most part, and at least then we won't be getting lost and wandering into an area where the Pokemon are actually about like 10 or 20 levels above us. Because God forbid I over level.
Yes. And the thing is, with Pokemon Bushido, it's one of those where it's better to overlevel.
Yes. So yeah, stick it, Ivy. Oh come on! Everyone that is watching this also knows about that meme at this point. It's literally a running gag on the channel, or channels at this point. But yeah, that's kind of really all I've been up to. So with that,
I was going to say quickly before we move on, a bit of an update for those of you that did not tune in last night's stream with the Soul Link, fuck's sake, the Honor Mode run. It did come to an end because I fucked up.
Oh no!
Okay, House is still alive. We should be fine. No, that's not the case at all. So we're restarting it with the same characters that we started it with, and we've gotten past the tutorial because I was like, yeah, let's keep going. I had the energy for it, and then all of a sudden I was like, uh-oh. And you can literally hear it if you go back and watch the VOD near the end. I was like, I'm crashing. Demo crashing. So we quickly did a tutorial. We quickly, did a little save, and we'll be picking that up hopefully not next Sunday, this Sunday.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. Odin. Cats, honestly. Yeah. I'll do it in a minute. I got something to do, mate. I love you, but be patient, please.
give it about 30-40 minutes, bud, and you'll be good.
Yeah, give us about half hour, right?
20 minutes later. Meow.
No, more like 10 minutes later because he likes to let me know when he's taking a shit.
Starts meowing like he's doing a Kamehameha.
That's literally, I wouldn't say he goes as far as doing it in that sense, but he does literally do something similar to that. So I'm like starting to know when he's like telling me he's done a shit now. So, but anyways, yes.
So,
Yeah.
as I said, there's been a few things that have popped up. First things first, it's not exactly video game related, but it's still a game related nonetheless. And I'm actually surprised by this. The title of the article goes as this, and this is from Dexerto. Canadian Yu-Gi-Oh player furious as Japanese tournament bans him because foreigners cause trouble. Canadian Yugioh player says he was, in quotation marks, discriminated against after trying to attend a tournament in Japan. Yu-Gi-Oh remains one of the most popular trading card games in the world. That is true. So YouTuber Squiddy figured he'd have no problem participating in a Japanese event, only to be told otherwise. In a post spreading throughout X, the player claimed that he was told by event staff that he couldn't play because he couldn't speak the language, even after buying cards and spending an hour to get there by train.
Okay.
Now, if it was just a language barrier thing, I would say fair enough. Because obviously, like, in order to actually play a game like that, obviously there has to be some sort of like communication between you and obviously event staff and maybe some of the other players, just so you know who you're going up against, who like you're playing with, and in case there's any like shoddy play or there's maybe been a misinterpretation of something, you know, something like that. Something like that is like, all right, fair enough. I would get that to a certain extent, but. Photos documenting his struggles show a staff member using Google Translate on a phone. A screenshot of the translated text reads, "Only Japanese people are allowed in. Foreigners will cause trouble to other customers and staff."
Okay.
Now, see that there, it might just be Google Translate being Google Translate. Because we all know Google Translate is not exactly the most accurate. It will say about something similar, but at the same time, I would entirely trust the translation, but it is close. Sometimes it can be close to the what is actually meant to be being said. After trying to join with Chives and Inventor in an actual conversation using Google Translate, found out how wrong some words actually were. But he brings up, apparently, following this, he went to another store and began to inquire about tournaments. After the staff chatted to themselves, they claimed they don't host competitions despite there being a whole floor of tables and people playing Yu-Gi-Oh! And this is a quotation from the clearly frustrated dude. "Now imagine if a Japanese player came to America and went to locals. We tell them, no, you can't play because you don't speak English. That shit would not fly." That is true.
No, cool.
That is true. It would be a case of the internet would go up in arms, basically say, you can't be doing this, blah, 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 blah. And yet no one's talking about what's gone on here. It's like, I'm sorry, but I'm noticing some double standards here. Like, I'll say this. If I were to take part in Yu-Gi-Oh! Tournaments and there was a Japanese player there, I would welcome him in. I'd be like, yo, let's go! And I know most players would actually be the same as well. I play against all sorts of players on Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel, because guess what? That's just how it is. You play with players across the world, so why can't you play against players across the world IRL? Now, again, I don't think the staff member was aiming to say foreigners cause trouble. I honestly don't think that would be a good idea, because one thing I'm pretty sure I'm aware is most Japanese companies take some pride in their image.
Yeah.
So, if basically what they put in is exactly how it was meant to come across, then that staff member might need a word or two. Because that's quite unprofessional to say that.
Just a bit, yeah. At the end of the day, like
the language thing, okay, I could kind of get to a certain extent. I would be behind that. But if you could prove that you could actually speak the language and read out what was on the cards in actual fluent Japanese to a certain extent, then that should at least, be fair. Like if you're going to go to a tournament in a different country, at least be able, especially a card game tournament, and then you buy cards of the local, you at least be able to actually speak some of the language to then, because some of the rules might slightly differ depending on the region. So, I'm in two sides of this one. Like, what do you think, Damo? Do you think it could be a case of Google Translate just fuck it up? Or do you reckon it might be...
I genuinely think it could be Google Translate being Google Translate, because it's not the first time it's happened. Honestly. So, yeah, I genuinely just think it's Google Translate being Google Translate. And it's not to excuse it by any means, because it can happen and it does happen.
Yeah. Now... the guy is actually, Squiddy is actually saying, as a result of this, he believes you can thank Johnny Somali and all the nuisance YouTubers, because there has been a rather high influx of content creators going over to Japan, littering and basically being a nuisance. It's not just Johnny Somali, although he is the most, the most...
infamous one.
Yes. And to be honest, the fact that he was kicked out of the country is nothing short of excellent. Because he is generally... And now, some people may end up trying to take it's the wrong way and try and say, I'm trying to start beef. Honestly, I think his content is boring. And he thinks it's funny. But it's not. You're acting like an idiot. And that's why you get kicked out of countries, mate. That's why that's why you're not allowed on Twitch. Because of shit like that. They say that Kick...
Exactly.
Now, I know there's obviously a bit controversial thing to say that Kick is like the Wild West of streaming platforms. It's like, yeah, but just because you go to a completely new platform that's still new does not give you the right to therefore break laws and rules and think you're completely immune to it. Is it a case that maybe these actions of other content creators have caused this Japan to actually take a bit more of a fervent stance against foreigners over there? Maybe. But at the same time, I wouldn't actually say if one of the things I've actually heard, and from some people I know who's spoken to Japanese people, one thing is Japanese people can actually be very respectful. So if you're respectful to them, you'll get it back.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard to say what's really at fault here, whether it's literally just Google Translate or if there's other stuff going on as a result of other people. So if there's any more information in regards of it that comes up, we probably won't cover it, but you may hear about me talking about it on streams at points, because I do think it's like something to maybe keep an eye on, because especially those that are actually looking to go and actually to visit Japan on holiday or something. Just word of advice: if you're gonna go over there, be respectful. If you got rubbish, actually
Always.
if you got actual rubbish, actually dispose of it properly. Don't just throw it on the streets. Clean up your own mess after yourself. Show respect, and you'll get it right, and you'll get the respect right back. Just.
I couldn't say it better myself, honestly, because it's like, you know, what a lot of people don't tend to realise, and this is just obviously an opinion, is that, you know, if you went to another country, right, and did that, now imagine how it is if you're gonna do the exact same thing, you know, over there. Like, would you like it if someone was doing that?
Would you? Yeah. Would you like it if someone literally came over? Do people like it? Like, there's already like, and this is going political for a sec, but there's already like loads of people like trying to fearmonger in regards of foreigners coming over here in the West, and it's like, no. Most countries are built on the backs of outsiders, so. But we'll stop that because that does lean somewhat to a very controversial topic, and I'd rather avoid any form of backlash for myself and Damo on that one.
Thank you.
But with that being said, though, I do have another thing I want to actually bring up before we start on yours, Damo. And I believe you'll find this interesting.
Okay.
I have looked this up, and apparently it is actually true. Konami apologizes for the Metal Gear Solid Master Collection Volume 1 and asks fans to decide its fate.
Interesting.
Now, obviously not long ago we got the Master Collection Volume 1, which had a total of 5 games on them to be on modern hardware. Ranging from the original NES Metal Gear games to all the way to Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater. And obviously that was Volume 1. Obviously we don't know what is Volume 2, we don't know obviously what's going to be on that one. There's been some theories, but nothing concrete. What has had a lot of people up in arms is, especially on PC, I've noticed, the requirements to play some of these old school games are literally ridiculous. So, like, the requirements for like Metal Gear Solid 2, you'd think, obviously, even though it's like essentially it's just an emulator, or an emulated version of the game, that the requirements wouldn't be too high, especially for a PS2 game. But I had a look at the requirements, and it's almost like the requirements needed for a modern game. I looked at the difference between Darktide and Metal Gear Solid 2, and it's like Darktide had better requirements than Metal Gear Solid 2 as part of the collection. It's like, what? How is that right?
What?
Yeah. So, normally when it comes to games, especially like remastered games, obviously you get the choice, obviously, like the frame rate, you know? So obviously what would be better. So apparently, because I don't have it, I was thinking about getting it, but I've not, just out of principle. Apparently, the for the PlayStation for Metal Gear Solid 1, or basically one's up or one before it, you're basically locked into 30 frames per second. And for Snake Eater, it's 60 frames per second. None of them exceeding 1080p resolution. Now, obviously you can't expect like emulated games to obviously be able to reach 1080p. Because obviously, like, it's emulated games, you know, they can only do so much as what was coded. But at the same time, if they're actually going to, like, if they're going to put so much effort into promoting the collection, which they have done, and they've essentially not lived up to people's hype or lived up to what they promised.
Yeah.
Like, Noriaki Okumura, who's been working on Metal Gear since 1998 and is now a lead producer on the series, has recently apologized, saying that Konami are very sorry the game wasn't up to standards. We're still continuing to update and improve the game to address these issues. Hideo Kojima, as obviously many of you know, Hideo Kojima was the director and producer responsible for Metal Gear's early success, and essentially its success all around. It was his imagination that basically brought it about to actually be as successful as it was. Like, his work, like, because you can tell because he added also funny little gimmicks as well that people could actually find. Funny little Easter eggs that would actually give a player a chuckle. He actually focused on the player experience when it came to this sort of stuff. Which is why Kojima is actually looked upon as an amazing dude. Especially, I follow him on X. His feed is literally full of Death Stranding, cosplayers of Death Stranding, cosplayers of Metal Gear throughout the entire series, no matter what character, talking to people about various things in regards to the stuff. So even though he's not even got anything to do with Metal Gear, he's still talking to people about it. Because it was his baby.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Now, it's kind of going to be interesting because... well, with everything that's going on, especially in regards of games now, or because we're stuck kind of in an era where we're in a cycle of remakes, essentially. Like, obviously we got the Final Fantasy VII remake, but they're doing that on a completely different way, and they're doing what was originally intended, so can't really class that as the same at this point. If anything, you actually could say is Final Fantasy 7.2, if you want to go any further than that. Since obviously Kojima's like departure from the studio, from Konami, the only actual like real noteworthy games that even landed any form of mainstream success was Pro Evo Soccer and Silent Hill. Which I'm sure you would also agree with me on that one.
Yes.
Now, Akuma has turned around and said Konami want players to be able to judge for themselves whether the new team is right for the job of keeping Metal Gear going. Now, it's going to be interesting considering the fact that they're actually also about that they were also in the obviously we've seen another trailer for Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater, which essentially is a complete like remastering of Snake Eater, which some people actually say is probably one of the best Metal Gear games around. And I'd be kind of willing to agree with that to a certain extent. But if it's going to be a case where people don't trust the new team that are working on the Metal Gear series, can they actually trust then for Delta to then actually live up to that legacy and actually do it right? Because there's always been the one question on people's minds: if they were to actually remake the Metal Gear Solid series, would Kojima work with them? If they were to offer Kojima a chance to actually work with them to do the game justice, would he actually take it? What do you think, Damo?
Honestly, to be honest, no.
Considering how they treated him, yeah.
And honestly, I do not blame him for not wanting to.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, like, you gotta think Metal Gear, Silent Hill, those were his babies, and they treated him like absolute trash. So, do I still love the Silent Hill series? Yes. Yes, I do. Am I still looking forward to Silent Hill 2 remake? Of course. Do I like the fact that it's technically under Konami? No, I do not.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you know, Bloober themselves, which is obviously going to bring us on to a topic that I have actually in terms of Konami itself.
Which is what I was going for.
Yeah, so I appreciate segue. You know, is the fact that they've said, and I'm just gonna go on to topic because it just makes more sense. My brain is not computing with myself right now, so I do apologize, guys. They even said to Konami, because Konami wanted more changes in Silent Hill 2 remake, and yet Bloober Team said no. One of the reasons for this, by the way, is because the fact is it's not anything new. Bloober has said one of its main inspirations, I think, for the game Layers of Fear, at least, the bare minimum, is Silent Hill.
Yeah.
So, and not just that as well. Like, I'm still gonna like be excited about it, and I'm gonna talk about it for a sec because I can.
Yeah.
Getting the original sound producer in. Like, hello, what? Like, that's how much they wanted to stick, and still do want to stick to, the original as much as they can. So yes, they've inputted changes and stuff like that because it's a remake, not a remaster, and I'm not going to start educating you guys on that again for the 50,000th time because it's quite frankly...
There's no need. If people want to look...
There's no need.
If people are still confused about what is what, then pull your head out your ass and actually do some research.
I understand some of the OG fans for the Silent Hill franchise, like, oh, such no. I get it. I understand, but it's a remake, so changes are going to be implemented. But it's the fact that they've literally gone, you know what? Nah. We're not going to add any more changes than what we already have. Okay?
Yeah, they're looking to actually preserve... They're looking to actually update it graphically, and that's it. Because they want to basically give the fans what they've been begging for years. Which is why the fact that they turned down any more changes being implemented, I think is actually a good move. Now, here's the question though: do we know exactly what these changes are?
Looking at the article, I'm not entirely sure because it's kind of vague in that aspect. I'm not gonna lie to you because it does seem very, very vague.
Yeah, but then again, though, it was like possibilities, like possible ideas. So, to actually then throw, like, it could have been something good, it could have been something bad, but at the end of the day, it's a remake and bringing back. Essentially, this is the first real breath of life that the Silent Hill franchise will actually have in years.
Yeah.
And not gonna lie, if you're gonna do it, you need to go about it right.
Exactly.
Like
obviously the changes that we do... the changes that we do know so far from obviously what's been shown to us is not just graphically and how certain things are done. Like, you can now block an attack coming in. So that will save me a lot of fucking hassle, honestly.
That will save you a headache and a half.
It fucking will. It honestly, I'm not even joking. It will save me a headache. And that they've changed some of the characters and the way that they look. Now, a lot of people have already said, why though? And it's because at the end of the day, back then, you didn't have things that you do now in terms of technology. Honestly, like, you gotta think, even with the battle in the cafeteria with what's his face, I can't remember, but he was like, the fat guy, right, in the cutscene. And I'm just pointing this out, I'm fat myself. I don't, whatever, I'm not fat shaming, it's literally part of the game, please. No, I'm not dealing with that shit. But anyway, right, in the cutscene, it showed how he is. in the game in itself when you're going against him, not so much. And that's because at the end of the day, over time, things change. Technology has evolved, so we could be able to have games, you know, to a certain extent of differentiation and stuff like that. So it's just kind of like, okay, I kind of understand. But the game is not about how it looks, okay? It is how it's... Take it back to the original Silent Hill. Okay, psychological horror, psychological thriller, it's all on the psychological thing. Silent Hill 2 is more about... It's Eddie, right? Shut up. Actually, well, hang on. My brain just clicked. I think you're right. I thought you were going to start coming at me with the Stranger Things stuff, and I'm like, shush. No, wrong thing. So that's all me. Yeah, I think it's Eddie. So thank you for that. My brain just went, like, did not compute at all. But hi, John. Sorry, John. But anyway, yeah, you know how it shows off the traumas and stuff like, bless you, to do with the characters
Thank
and
you.
stuff like that, right? And sometimes that's also in physical appearance, but it's psychological. It's there to make you think. Start paying attention to the changes they've made, you know, physically to the characters, and just appreciate the game for what it is and what the, you know, meanings are behind it and stuff like that. Honestly.
Yeah. Also, news just in. Literally, hot off the press. Literally, this just appeared on my thing. So, Alone in the Dark developers, Pieces Interactive, have been shut down.
Oh?
Embracer shuts down Alone in the Dark developer Pieces Interactive. Alone in the Dark developer Pieces Interactive has been shut down by the now infamous Embracer Group after the game failed to meet expectations. That was a recent Alone in the Dark game. Well, no shit, because it was actually crap. A statement on the developer's website lists a 2007 to 2024 lifespan for Pieces Interactive. Alongside the message, "Thanks for playing with us," it also offers a short history of the studio before a dedicated paragraph comments on the acquisition by the Embracer Group, which in the last year has also shut down developers Free Radical Design, Onoma, and Violation Games amid layoffs affecting more than 1,000 employees.
Jesus.
Shit a brick.
Yeah, just a bit.
So yeah, so the survival horror game launched in March 2024 to middling reviews, endured a softer than expected performance, and performed below management expectations, according to a statement from Embracer made after it reportedly made a round of layoffs at Pieces Interactive. Pieces Interactive joins an increasing list of video game studios closure and layoffs that have plagued the industry for the past 2 years. Embracer has caused many of these, having cut thousands of staff since the collapse of the $2 billion deal in 2023. It also sold the likes of Borderlands developer Gearbox Software and Star Wars: The Knight Republic remake studio Saber Interactive ahead of announcing a split into 3 separate companies. Shit a brick. Sorry about that, folks, but that literally just came straight in off the hot off the press.
Nah, no worries, man, honestly. Like, it's all good.
Jeez Louise. More fucking layoffs. Jesus Christ. The gaming industry is going through a worse recession than the UK did. Fucking hell. But yeah. Alright. Sorry about that, Damo.
No, you're all good. You're good.
But, like, I had to say it. It's like, shit. Because I would have kicked myself. I'd have kicked myself if I had seen that afterwards.
Right.
What's up?
Nothing.
Alright. Well, so from shut down to not working, PlayStation fans furious over major service outage with no signs of recovery. Now, those of you who have the PlayStation app, you'll notice, obviously, the thing called the PlayStation Stars. Which, to those of you that actually sign up, is actually a very handy thing. Because if you do a certain amount of stuff and build up points, you can actually get a bit of money back. Say, £5 or £20, or maybe even buy a cheap game with it. Well, since, I think about... from the earliest report I saw was on the 13th, PlayStation Stars has actually been down. Now, originally it wasn't appearing actually on the app at all, but now there is something that has appeared, and when you click on it, it says PlayStation Stars is currently experiencing issues. Our engineers are aware of this issue and are working on a solution. It's been several fucking days now, guys. What are you doing? Like, bruh, pull your head out your ass. First you make it so people can't actually play certain games depending on where they live, and now you're making it so we can't get rewards. Fuck out of here. There was actually reports from reports from people saying that they're shutting down PlayStation Stars, which you and I both can agree there's a bit of a bad idea. But the fact that's not the case, that they're just taking their sweet time and actually getting it up and running.
I mean, it could be a deeper issue and we just don't know. I'm not, like, going to their beck and call or whatever, but, like, I'm trying to give them the benefit of the doubt.
Which is fair. But at the same time, this is literally... The Stars app literally appeared back today.
Oh. Bye-bye, bud.
No, literally... It's reappeared. This is the first appearance has appeared today, and they've not said anything. I've been looking at their various social medias, and they've not said anything.
Oh no, I know what you're saying, but what I'm saying is maybe they're trying to look for the issue before talking about it. Again, I'm just trying to give them the benefit of the doubt.
But the thing is,
it is also a bit sus as well, because like the last few times I've made a purchase, I've not gotten my points.
Yeah.
I didn't really take any notice of it until like we spoke about it briefly, I think the other day.
Yeah. Because I noticed it as well, and I'm like, hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right. So, yeah. Not sure what's going on here. I've looked through various things, like various Reddits or like forums on people's speculation. No one has any idea. But I will say, to be fair, the PlayStation app and the reward system has needed a bit of a rework for some time. Because I'll jump on there to actually redeem some stuff, and it'll say, "Oh, sorry, there's an issue. Come back later." And I just close the app, reopen it, and it's back, and it's fine again. And no, people, it's not the internet connection. Before anyone actually says anything,
I can actually vouch for that one too. Like whenever I wanted to redeem, like say if I only had enough for like £15 worth of like vouchers, right?
Yep.
It would literally send me in a loop after I've done the first one. Went through fine. After that, I'm having to wait at least a minimum of a half an hour to an hour before I can redeem it again.
Yep.
When at first I didn't have that issue.
Yeah. So they gave us this, which, not gonna lie, I agreed to because I thought it would be actually a good thing. And it has been a good thing.
Yeah.
But we still question them on what the fuck.
Yeah.
So, again, granted, there may be a deeper issue, but in order to alleviate people, it might be worth in them literally just hopping on social media and say, hey guys, we've noticed there's an issue going on. Please be patient. We're actually doing our best to try and fix it. We know it's been some time since it's been down. We've been trying to work out what's going on. We think we might have seen something that may be the cause of it, but we're not sure. Just hold on. We'll do our best. See, it doesn't take long to actually turn around and literally just do that. Not 5 minutes. Yet they don't seem to be doing that. So, is it a case of the only time they'll actually communicate with us is if it's through a bot response? Hell,
Probably.
even to be fair, even a bot would actually respond better than that. But geez, We've had art bots appear in our chat, in our separate chats, actually, that have actually responded better than what PlayStation does.
Yeah.
And that's saying something. What you got next for us, Damo?
I got some Baldur's Gate. And it's actually a bit behind Shadowheart. This is from GamesRadar.com. And the title goes, Shadowheart from Baldur's Gate 3 was originally more sassy and had to be heavily dialed down. As one of the devs said, I really don't like the character. So Shadowheart, the fan favorite, not my personal favorite, just to clarify, from Baldur's Gate 3, was originally a much more sassy character before being heavily dialed down due to internal feedback. Shadowheart's sassiness and hot temper are two of her most defining traits that make her one of the more popular Baldur's Gate 3 romance options. Differential in opinion on that front, but that's okay. But at some point in the game's early access period, it sounds like she was downright mean. Games Radar Plus had the chance to attend a panel at the BAFTAs, an evening with Baldur's Gate 3 event, and director Sven Vinke.
Yeah,
which is how it's pronounced, and I did not realize this until I watched that, by the way, the webinar of it.
You and I have both struggled with that name.
Yeah, and now it's Vinke.
Vinke.
Yeah, not Vinky. It's Vinke.
Fair enough.
Anyway, revealed a key insight about Shadowheart's early character development. We thought Shadowheart in the beginning, when she was very sassy, she was great because our main thing was we're going to create a party of people who distrust each other, and then they're going to grow to trust each other. Which he did say. Now, I'm going to say this as well because I can talk about the webinar whilst I'm talking about this specifically. It was great. And very insightful in terms of, like, even just the developers giving advice and, the sound designer as well, like how the differentiations in, say, the opening Down by the River has actually been used multiple times during the game, just scaled up. Which I did kind of notice a couple of times, by the way. I noticed a couple of times. To be honest. Like, throughout the game. I was like, okay, this is pretty cool. And stuff like that. And he was and I'm just gonna say this quickly as well, the sound designer basically said Down by the River was actually inspired by a place in the UK.
Wait, really?
Specifically in a town near where I live.
Oh my god.
Now, I'm not going to tell you what that town is, because then I'm doxing myself.
Yeah,
and I'm
for
not
safety
that
reasons.
Stupid. For safety reasons, I will not, because I'm only about, I think, a train ride or two away from said town. So for my own personal safety, I will not, obviously...
Yeah, anyway.
Say.
Anyway.
But anyway, I'll say it's in the county that I live in, so, it's all good. So that was kind of cool, honestly, to be honest with you, on that front.
A sassy Shadowheart.
Yes, now she's kind of already sassy enough as it is, but it's one of those.
Hers is more defensive sassy.
Yeah.
So, could you imagine actually her in sassy just as a natural? That would actually be interesting to see. I don't know about you.
It would be. So to get on with reading the rest of the article, Vinke admitted that the writers went a little too far in the effort to make other party members distrustful of Shadowheart, recalling an instance in which another developer, likely lead writer Sarah Bailey's, but only their first name was used, so I cannot confirm, saying, "I really don't like Shadowheart." The host of the panel then asked for clarification about whether Shadowheart's sassiness has since been dialed down, and Vinke said, yeah, heavily dialed down. Baldur's Gate 3 was in early access for about 3 years, and in that time, Larian made a bunch of major changes in the final release, and plenty of those were based on player feedback.
Heavily dialed down. I'm just like,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I would love to see that. I would love to see a heavily sassy Shadowheart. I think that'd be hilarious.
I know there's some modders that have been able to get some cut content. Now, it's still a mystery, and I'm saying it's still a mystery because we all know what Sven can be like on social media, and he denies that, you know, in Act 3, there was meant to be more of an upper city and stuff like that. And he denies it, which is okay. That's fine. He even, I believe, denied it at the webinar. I'm gonna call it webinar because I watched it online, and that's what it says on the email. You know, during the webinar event, that's not the case. It's not the case. Or I might just be thinking of a different video, but it still ties this. It's fine. So yeah, correct me if I'm wrong. It's all good. I don't mind. And it's specifically to do with Karlach, because her story felt a bit. There's something missing. Oh yeah, no, I'm getting it too confused. Sven did not deny. My bad. Anyway. So, and this was just for a video that I was watching, and there's some stuff in the coding that suggests Karlach had a bigger storyline. So now it's piqued my interest, and because there's no actual videos to my knowledge of actual footage of said cut content, I now have to go on a mod hunt to find this. So yeah, there's that.
That'll be interesting to see. If there is, like on that basis, especially Karlach, your best girl.
Fuck yeah, man. Honestly, I can't wait, to be honest, because at the end of the day, it is one of them where I do want to see what content there is. All things considered, we were meant to originally have 17,000 different endings. And obviously, for the main part, we've got 3 main endings and some partial ones. So I really do want to go on that, like, I do want to find that cut content, because it would definitely be a massively different experience.
Alright. Well, if Damo does actually find anything in regards of that, obviously Damo will obviously bring us up to date on it.
And if I do, and obviously it works accordingly, I am not going to stream it.
For obvious reasons.
But what I will do is I will record some footage and hand it to Chaos. So if he did want to show it on the podcast, he can.
I'd probably, if anything, I would say probably do like comparison, like maybe comparison screenshots. Like, here's what Shadowheart would say in the game as it is now. Here's a line that she would say. Here's what she says. Here's what she said when they had her as sassy as hell. So I'll have that comparison. So instead of obviously a video, do comparison screenshots, just because then it'd be a lot easier and less likely to have it cause any backlash.
Though, to be fair, honestly, the one thing I will say about the webinar as well is how, even though Sven, you could tell he's very sick and tired of talking about Baldur's Gate 3, and you can see it on his face, but he, as well as everybody else, said this is not our game, it is your game now, as in the players.
Yep.
That's why they're also adding mod support. They've not once told people to get rid of the cut content mod, so I genuinely think on that front it's okay, but I do see what you mean. Obviously with the backlash and stuff like that, and it was very heartwarming. I kind of wanted to cry, to be honest, because it's not often you get developers saying that. Like, this is your game now.
Yeah.
Like,
they've literally. The fact is, though, they've literally done their absolute best, and they have actually. And I think those of us that have actually played it can actually say they have probably made one of the best games, especially when it comes to story-based games, in a long time. Because the fact is, even after, like, normally a game at this point after its release would have started to slow down in terms of, like, the amount of content people are making with it, or the amount of stuff people are doing with it. No, it's not stopped. If anything, it's actually gotten. There's actually been more.
Yeah.
So, the future though, in terms of actual, apart from the modding stuff coming, and possible crossplay, obviously that's still to come. Apart from that though, they've literally done everything they need to for that game. They've literally delivered a full packaged game. I would say this: they've actually given us the experience that we had as kids, especially in my generation, where we would play a game when it was released, and it was a full game. Not a game that would have updates that would give you like different stuff later on as DLC, to which you would have to pay like nearly an arm and a fucking leg to play. No, they've actually given us actual, legit, a full packaged game.
Yeah.
And
they said that's what they were going to do, and they delivered.
Yeah. They went out there and they gave us exactly what we have needed. A full game. The only thing that we've had is literally just patches and stuff to fix bugs that could possibly break the game. And a few other bits.
Yeah.
That's really all that's needed. That's how it should be. That's how it should be when you say that a game is going to have like 20 to 30 hours. I'm sorry. I can complete a 20 or 30 hour game in no problem whatsoever. A 20 30 hour game is literally, it's become the standard for a lot of games. And it's like, that should not be the standard. A game should be one that keeps you coming back for more. As you were saying?
Give me a sec.
One.
Ha. Anyway.
Starting.
No, actually, I was just responding to a message.
Right.
But yeah, it's... Even then, people were dissatisfied with the ending, specifically, like, the good ending. So what did they go ahead and do? Technically, they added DLC, but they didn't charge you for it.
Yeah.
They made it work. And they have done a massively good job, and I'm so proud of them. And I don't blame them for wanting to move on, you know. And they're probably going to get Game of the Year, and I know this is like me doing a bit of a reach, so it's just demo being demo. Demo scenario.
To be honest, I don't think that's a stretch, to be honest.
I think they'll get Game of the Year again, at least next year. Like a couple of years running, I think.
Can a game actually get Game of the Year in 2 years straight?
I think so, yeah.
Or if it does actually, well, if that actually is the case, and that does happen, then fair play, they deserve it.
Yeah, they do.
They deserve
also
it.
deserve to move on. Am I a bit disappointed that the DLC they were hinting at giving us is not going through? Yeah, of course I am. I was looking forward to that. But at the same time, they have a right to move on and do the next project. So whatever they come out with next, I can't sit here and say that I am going to massively enjoy it, because I don't know, because we don't know what it is yet. Yeah. However, I do wish them luck in the future for any games that they do end up developing. I will keep an eye out, and I will give my honest opinion on it.
I will say, whoever decides to take up the mantle of making the next Baldur's Gate game, yeah, you got massive shoes to fill. You are in trouble.
Yeah, like, don't do it just for a quick, easy cash cow shit, because, no.
You'll fail.
You will fail. The fact is, the 2 original Baldur's Gate games, you know, as did the 3rd, like, for millions upon millions of people, generation upon generation.
They've upped the ante.
They've upped the ante. You have big shoes to fill.
Yeah.
Does not mean go ahead and copy. At the end of the day, that is not what we're saying. What we're saying is make it original. That's what Larian did, essentially. Yeah.
They took the time.
It's still tied in.
They built.
It's still. Yeah.
They built a what? They actually built a world.
Yeah.
A captivating world at that. So yeah.
Exactly.
Definitely looking forward again. Just more stuff about possible what to look forward to and what's to come in regards, obviously, the modding stuff and the crossplay. I'm looking forward to that. Now, a couple of bit of things that actually popped up a few days ago, actually. One game that I know I'm looking forward to, and I know Damo is actually looking forward to, and I know several others are actually looking forward to. Obviously, many years ago, back on the 360 and PS3, we got a very... At first, I thought was a very niche and weird game that not many people would be into or care about. Lollipop Chainsaw. Played it, had an absolute blast with it. It was hilarious. It was stupid. But it was funny, and it wasn't too long, and it wasn't too short either. The whole premise of it is absolutely hilarious.
Oh yeah.
And I thought they probably won't bring that back, and we probably won't get a game like that again. So fair enough. I enjoyed it, and just left it at that. Now, a few days ago, because I posted this literally, as I said a few days ago, on the 14th, it was shown the very first trailer for Lollipop Chainsaw Repop. Not only was it an actual gameplay trailer, which anyone that's actually watched it will see is like the original. Instead of actually trying to tweak it to modern day standards, they basically just gave us the game.
And guess what that means? They're only updating it graphically. Do you know what that means?
What does that mean, Damo?
It's a remaster.
Yep. And on top of that, they also gave us a release date, which is a surprise because usually when we get first trailers for games, we get maybe like fall 2024 or winter 2024. You know, that sort of stuff. No, we got an actual specific date. September 25th. Yeah, September 25th. So, yeah, not gonna lie, this year is actually looking not too bad in terms of like some games. So, the fact that we're actually getting Lollipop Chainsaw Repop finally after all these years, and how much we've been teased with it by various people over the years. We're finally getting it. As you can imagine, yours truly will definitely be streaming that shit.
Yep.
I will definitely be having fun with that. I know several other people that will also be streaming that game, and I imagine some of the bigger people on this platform and others will also be streaming that game. Why? It's fucking funny.
It really is. I do have a question about it though. Is it being ported to PC as well, or is it just specifically PlayStation only?
I don't know. All I know is, like, I've not heard about any PC port. I don't know. There's not been actually really anything said. It may end up on Steam. Like, it probably wouldn't take too much to actually maybe look it up.
Well, yeah, that's true.
So, but yeah, no, I'm like, I'm happy.
Well, yeah.
I'm definitely looking forward to it. Oh, it's actually going to be on PC as well. I've just had to look it up.
As I boot up Steam.
I've just looked up Lollipop Chainsaw Repop PC. Literally 3 articles talking about it. Lollipop Chainsaw Repop will arrive on PC this September with 4K and 60 FPS support.
Oh, I'm a cum.
All right.
Not literally.
All right, save it for the after party, Damo. Jesus. Yeah. Now, I do have essentially a couple of things to also report on, which is kind of also a somewhat little segue for the last topic I know Damo has, which is not big. They're not very big things, but well, 2 of them I wouldn't say are a big thing, but one of them is. The Switch, you can no longer actually post pictures onto Twitter from there anymore. They removed that feature. as of June 10th, integration on X, formerly Twitter, as well as the ability to send friend requests to friends on social media from within Nintendo Switch Friend Suggestions feature has been discontinued. This impacts the following services. The feature for posting screenshots and videos to X from the album in the Nintendo Switch Home video menu is no longer available. While posting screenshots and videos on Facebook will continue to be available, this service may also be discontinued at a later date. The ability to post Super Smash Ultimate screenshots from the album in the Nintendo Switch Home menu to Smash World in the Nintendo Switch Online Smart Device app is also unavailable. Try and say that at the end with a mouthful of toffee.
Right.
But yeah, basically if you wanted to post your stuff on social media, it's now going to be a bit more difficult. But from what I've been hearing, and these are just merely rumours, so don't take it as gospel, it might be due to the fact that, because PlayStation also did something similar to that recently, and I believe Xbox might be planning on following suit.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's got something to do with the fact that they might not be too happy with the direction that Twitter is going. And the fact that, essentially, in order to use these services on the systems, it's costing them an arm and a leg. Which kind of says something with even these these systems are now pulling out of allowing players to post on the platform. So we might be looking at their lack of faith in it. But again, that's merely speculation. A few hours ago, onto my next thing, it was announced Nintendo Direct is happening this month. When? Tomorrow. On the 18th of June, to those of you who watch this at a later date. Currently the 17th. So yes, tomorrow at 3 p.m. UK time. They will go live for about 40 minutes. And they have stated on social media that there will be no talks of the Switch 2 or any future consoles. They'll be mainly talking about games coming out for the rest of the year. So, it'll be interesting to see. I have actually swapped my schedule around somewhat so I can actually watch it live on stream myself. So if you guys want to see me react to what they're going to show, then tune in tomorrow at 2 p.m. UK time to actually see. Well, we'll hang out and play some Xenoverse 2, and then when it starts, we'll pause and we'll watch live. And Demo, you got one last little topic for us?
I do. So there was an announcement, a free store credit and surprise Animal Crossing update. So to our knowledge, the free store credit, as we discussed earlier, that it is in the States only, if I'm remembering correctly.
The event, the current event that's going on for Animal Crossing is happening in the States only.
Yeah. So just wanted to mainly clear that up. To be fair, just because, you know, it sucks, honestly, that it's not all across the globe for this event, but at the same time, I just want to keep you guys informed. Yeah. That's literally it.
Yeah, so again, not really much, but it's, you know, it's something.
Yeah.
It's a little thing that's, there's a little thing that's happening. So, if you are playing Animal Crossing, there's little things happening if you are in the States going on in regards of it. You can look it up. It's pretty easy to find. So, yeah. And with that being said, folks, that is the last topic we have for the evening. The next episode of the Flopcast will be episode 59, and it will be taking place on the 1st of July.
Yay!
Yeah, my birth month. Yay, the month I gave birth to this fucking mad bastard. But yes, as always, Damo, thank you for joining me.
Anytime, thank you for having me.
No, it's always a pleasure. And with that being said, though, folks, we are going to be calling it there for this episode. On YouTube, if you guys have actually enjoyed this, then I hope you, if you have enjoyed this, and I hope you actually do like and subscribe and watch the rest of the Flopcasts in the playlist. Oh, also, Damo,
What?
where the fuck can people find you?
Twitch.tv/it's the moo. On Twitter, twitter.com/party with knives. And on TikTok, it's the moo TTV, or just take out one of the T's, it's fine. You'll know when you see it, it's fine.
But yes, for those of you who have actually watched this VOD, if you intend on watching, if you want to catch this stuff live, then go over to twitch.tv/the Chaos of Dragons. And if you want to see actually the live shenanigans, so you guys won't actually miss any of the bullshit. But with that being said, folks, we will see you all in the next one. And as always, raise your pizzas high and say it with me. Stay chaotic and live for the challenge.
And there's a challenge. Ooh.
For fuck's sake. Bye.